Welcome to Working and Wondering.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Chris.
And I'm Martha. And we're also Venturesome Couple.
That is us. And we've got a venturesome conversation to have with you, or an adventurous one.
Yes. We're really excited about this announcement.
Yeah, this episode is going to be all about the future world headquarters of Working and Wandering and Venturesome Couple.
Ooh. It sounds very exciting because right now we're in Central Florida.
Ducking a hurricane.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so let's talk about the future, since right now it's just wet and wiggly outside. So we have talked tremendously in the past about the challenges of remote work, and that there could be a time and that I'm forced to be back within a footprint. And I use the term forced loosely because it's not like I got an ultimatum.
No, it's not. And the company Chris works for works out of 8 different states. So the footprint would be one of the 8 states that his company would be thrilled and love Chris, to work out of or live in as he works.
The big reason for the company's perspective, I'll give you a little background. Why it matters to the company is I work out of Florida. So I'm employed by the company in Florida, which means they have to pay payroll taxes, unemployment, workers' compensation, any other type of state required operating license, business license, payments, anything like that. So it's expensive for them to maintain a business in Florida when they're not making any revenue in Florida. So it's really that simple. I get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Now, am I getting that underlying pressure going, hey, we really want to move everybody into the footprint, and hey, your team's in one state and you're in another? Yeah, the comments.
And they know that we do Venturesome Couple, YouTube, social media, Working, Wondering, podcast. They know all of this, and they're perfectly fine with it. And actually, they're actually some of our good supporters.
They are. They are. So it's not a negative against the company. It's just the reality of my situation. And we have warned you all about the realities of remote work. Things are changing drastically right now.
Yes.
I mean, Amazon just said your butt will be in the building 5 days a week, and on rare occasions you can be home 2 days a week, but you have to live wherever you're employed. That is a drastic change. That starts in January. Boeing has says everybody back into the building. Microsoft has said everybody back into the building. You're seeing it on major Fortune 500 companies. The return to the office,
it's happening.
Yeah. So we are not surprised. We, Venturesome Couple, Working and Wandering, Martha and I, we've been talking about this for a couple of years. We pay attention.
We do. We saw the writing on the walls and in LinkedIn and all the other.
And I have fantastic leadership that has been super transparent with me the entire time.
Yes.
And I mean, and for years they've been transparent with me. So I'm not mad. I'm not upset, but we are really excited about what the future holds. Right?
We are.
We are, but we're going to hold them off for a little bit while we talk about this. So this won't be a huge, really long episode. This is truly an announcement and a change to the world headquarters.
Yes, and life-changing.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what's your thoughts? I mean, it's going to make a big difference for you, Mrs. Peters.
It is. Let's see, how much should we disclose right now?
All of it. Rip the Band-Aid off. This is our people.
Okay, so we are moving back to Alaska. It's where I'm from.
It is.
That's where Chris and I met. And he was stationed there back in the late 1900s with the Air Force.
One would say God's country.
Yes, the last frontier.
It is wild. And if you watch any of the reality shows, you know they're full of crap. But it's cold.
It is. What's funny and interesting is we did this Alaska series on our podcast, and that's kind of what kicked off Working and Wondering.
It is.
And it really made me homesick.
And that's not what drove us back. Truly, It's a combination of family reasons, which you guys, we've shared that our daughter had surgery and she's recovering. Well, healthcare is stupid expensive in America.
It is. And her and I are Alaska Native Indian, which means we do get free healthcare in Alaska. And we're going to move back to Anchorage, where they have ANMC, which is Alaska Native Medical Center, and South Central Foundation. So they're the hub in South Central Alaska, which is Anchorage, and they have everything from ER to primary doctors, dentists, everything specialists. So she'll have all those specialists and doctors at, for
her
free.
disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not, I mean, I know someone will say it's not free. No, nothing's free. It's subsidized by your native corporations, by the federal government. It's part of the bigger acts that were done with the Native Americans across the United States historically. So let's not get into the weeds on that. We don't want to get political
and
on
we
it.
still use our insurance. So Chris has insurance through work, and we still use that with going to get our Alaska
it's a supplemental
Native care.
It is a supplemental, and it helps them. So by going back to Alaska, we're going to be putting our family in a better situation because I'm going to be back in the footprint of my employer, which is good for them. We're going to get Ashley, our daughter, back into a healthcare setting where she has a care team already in place. That's where all this started. So she's a known entity there.
Yeah, and she already knows the healthcare team there also.
Yeah.
So she started her care when she was 15, almost 16 is when we found that particular thing out that caused the surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a win from that standpoint. But what does that mean for the future of working and wandering? I'm sure that's a question that's coming up. What does that mean for Venturesome Couple?
Yeah, what does that mean? It means we're going to be in the most epic place on earth. And I say that because I'm super biased, born and raised an Alaskan. And we're going to do all kinds of content and share all of Alaska with you.
As we've already done with our Alaska series, we've given you a lot of insider knowledge because no, I'm not an Alaskan. I'm a transplant is the term that I like to use on that. But I can tell you I've done more Alaskan stuff and done more Alaskan adventures than most Alaskans.
And that's what some of my cousins had said. They're like, Chris, you're more Alaskan than me. And same thing.
Right.
Alaska Native Indian from Alaska, born and raised.
Right.
But they're not out there fishing. And that's okay. That's okay.
Everybody does their thing, right?
The cool part is that when we were up there before, living there, doing all the Alaskan adventures, we would fish and hunt and share with the family. So that's part of my heritage, and that's part of us being in the Alaskan community.
Yeah, and if you're hearing this for the first time, go back and listen to our Alaska series, and you'll learn a little bit about like just the general what it's like to be an Alaskan. And so the future of working and wandering is going to be great because we're going to be able to bring you wandering content, of course, for Alaska, and it's going to be based on what we know as locals. And we're going to be able to bring you a lot on working because there's one thing about Alaska most people don't know. The unemployment rate in Alaska is extremely low. The amount of jobs are extremely high. They pay very, very well depending on what industry you're in. So we're going to bring a lot of that to you saying, look, you're looking for a 6-figure job. You want to do something different? Here's the place to be. And we will actually share real jobs. I mean, you've got a cousin, her husband that works on the slope. Does oil industry.
Yeah.
There's money in that.
Yeah, and she's a stay-at-home mom, and they have 4 children, or
4 in home.
5.
Yeah, but 4 at home.
No, 2.
3 at home. 2 of them went to the military.
Yes. I have a big family.
Right. Yeah. But you'll see that we're going to be able to bring you insider knowledge for industries, opportunities, and what's the remote work look like in Alaska. One of the biggest things that I'm super excited about going back up there is to see how the internet works, right? It's been 3.5 years since we've been up there. T-Mobile's got a presence up there. Verizon's got a presence. AT&T, GCI, Starlink is now up there.
I know. I'm pretty excited about that.
So let's see how we can work and wander and work remote while we're in Alaska.
Yeah, and we're still going to RV quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. That's not changing. The RV is going with us, and we're actually doing some epic upgrades to our RV to make it Alaska ready. Things that aren't a requirement, but when you live there year-round, really make it easier on you.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. So we're getting it Alaskan ready.
Yep.
Before we go. Now, when are we leaving?
Sure. That's you got better odds of hitting the lottery to give you that answer. And I'll let Martha explain why, because it's not that we're wishy-washy.
No. So our time frame right now is anywhere between like late November to April, leaving here in April, getting there beginning of May. The reason why I applied for a job at the old company, I know.
Woo! Hold on. That's for Martha, and here's my answer.
Well, that's me waiting right now. So I'm waiting for an interview. So I used to be a physician recruiter
Yep.
for Alaska Native Hospitals. So I'm waiting to hear back. So we shall see.
Yeah, you had the first conversation with the hiring manager. He did tell you you're going to be moving forward in the process.
Yes,
What that looks like, I'll let you tell everybody what you call that, the waiting, because I don't want to get, shamed for being culturally discriminatory,
we're on native time.
right? It's like
Well,
island time, y'all. We'll get
so
around to it.
so yeah, I've already had the conversation with the new recruitment manager, and really nice guy, new to the company, and he knows my time frame of when we can be up there. So
Right.
we have a lot of things going on right now. So
Yeah.
we just took our truck in to get the oil change for the first time, and guess what? They dinged the crap out of the driver's door down to the metal, and we just had it ceramic coated, which we can say because we said it on our YouTube live announcement.
Literally, our brand new Alaskan Grizzly truck that is the model, not something we named it.
Yes.
They knocked two big dings into the door that actually dented the door down to the damn primer, and you can see through the paint into the metal on one of them. They're going to have to repaint the door, well, sand it down,
Yes.
repaint the door.
Fix a dent
Yep.
and then repaint.
And then wait a month, and then it has to go back to Tallahassee to master applied coating and get the door re-ceramic coated. Martha was ready to kill an MFer today.
I was about
I had to send her away, y'all. I was like, babe, I got this. I love you. Let me handle this.
yeah, the poor guy hid behind his computer, but I was fuming, and Chris, he was on a phone call, and then I had to wait for him to I told the guy at the counter, I was like, "I'm so sorry." I said, "I need my husband here with his calendar because we have so many things going on right now." Because my thought is if we leave
In
Florida in
November.
November, we're screwed. Like we have everything on schedule. It's not even funny. If it's not in our calendar, it doesn't happen.
Right.
It's such
So
a tight schedule.
the move is really based on the job. So
Mhm.
if they decide to move forward with Martha, there's two positions open. She did one of them. She did the job you applied for
Yes.
over 3 years. You're fully qualified. There's no reason in our mind that you shouldn't get the job,
Yes.
especially being Alaska Native Indian, which has a hiring preference. So like there's a lot of things going in our favor that we think this is going to happen. So if November ends up being the time frame, we can't drive up there. That's one of
Yeah.
the considerations. Well, I take that back. We can drive up there.
It's not as safe in the wintertime, honestly. I mean,
Especially towing a 35-foot trailer, 34-foot trailer.
mhm.
You're not making good decisions if you're towing a 34-foot trailer to Alaska in November.
Yeah, I mean, could it be done? Yes. Is it safe and ideal? No, it's not,
It would
honestly.
take so long because you would have to go so slow. Like we'd have to get chains on the trailer, chains on the truck. We would have to get chains on our daughter's car,
Mhm.
and it's got to go really, really slow. And so, yeah, it's right now. It's a little bit of a hot mess. If you get the job, we're talking November. If you don't get the job, when are we going?
We'll leave here mid to late April and get there about the first week of May.
That way we can drive everything up there because I don't know if you guys have looked at moving to Alaska. And if you have, let us know. Throw us in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. But if you're listening to any of the podcast streaming platforms, let us know on venturesomecouple.com or in the comments on any of the platforms.
Yeah, and we're on Facebook, of course, TikTok, Instagram, and
Yeah, we'd
our
love to
Gmail,
answer
our
any questions
website.
you might have about it. So if you've ever had an idea about moving to Alaska, guess what we're going to do on our next Alaska series
All about our planning.
and moving.
Yes.
And I can tell you right now, I about fell out of the flinging chair. I pulled up U-Pack.
And we've used U-Pack services before. Basically, they drop a semi off in your driveway. You pack your own stuff, load it, and then you put the wall barrier up, cinch it in, and you pay by the foot or every 2 feet. I think
Every
it's
2 feet.
every 2 feet.
Yep. And then they come grab it. It's a company called ABF,
Mhm.
and they come grab it and they haul your crap to Alaska. We've done it. We've done it in and out.
Yeah.
We've never done it from Florida. We looked at doing the same size of a U-Haul trailer. So we did 26 foot, just thinking, okay, we'll do the same size as what a U-Haul truck would be. $22,000 to drop our crap off in Alaska. Guess who's selling all of our stuff again?
We are.
Yeah. So the world
and another reason why we are thinking about selling like a lot of our stuff and furniture and all that, we can rebuy stuff up there. It'll be cheaper. The next house we move into, whether it's a rental or we buy right away, I mean that's all
all
up in the air right now. Some of the stuff may not look good in there, and we've moved so many times with the military that this is true life.
And they know we've told them We got IKEA furniture in our bedroom. There's a 9 out of 9 chance. All right, we'll go 9.9 out of 10 chance that crap ain't gonna make it.
No.
It'll break.
Yes.
We have had a lot of broken IKEA furniture. That particle board does not hold up on any kind of long move.
No.
So, yeah. So back to the world headquarters.
Yes.
You said that's going to be in Anchorage?
Most likely Anchorage.
So what did you have for a crazy idea? Because there's two stories here. One of them is we're going to buy a house probably in Anchorage, which puts Martha close to work, puts me right next to availability of the offices in that footprint, and it gets Ashley right next to the healthcare. So that's good. But she had a crazy idea about.
Oh, yes. So ideally, it would be great for the three of us to live in Anchorage.
Yes.
Because of what Chris said. Now, I want to get some property about 45 miles north of Anchorage. So somewhere either Palmer, Wasilla, and have like a boondocking type site area, have a built-in fire pit, like a recreational area. So when our Venturesome tribe comes up to come visit, we want to have a gathering out there where it's a little private,
right,
secluded, but not too far out in the boonies.
No. And so we're looking at probably 1 to 5 acres, maybe.
Easy.
1 to 5 acres of just raw land that we can put some RV pads on and level. Even if it's just leveled and graveled, it'd be fine. But we're thinking concrete pads with some type of dry cabin or outbuilding so that we could have somewhere to get out of the weather if it was raining.
Kind of like a little community hall. And we want to enclose one for obviously, keep the mosquitoes out and the weather because it does get cold. And where we can have like tables set up, bring your chairs and
play games, hang out, have a bonfire,
potluck.
Yeah, all about that. So we're thinking a place in Anchorage and some land in the valley is what it's called, Wasilla, and it may be even a little bit further out. We may go out a little bit further to Houston, or
it can even be Eagle River.
Yeah, it could be. It just depends on what we find. So we're excited about the future of that. We are looking for a house in Anchorage. So if y'all got any hookups, let us know.
Now, we did get reached out to after we did our YouTube live announcement.
Because our tribe is freaking awesome.
They are. So I would say our original OG tribe, like when we started YouTube and we're telling our dream, we're selling our stuff from Alaska, the couple that we sold our first travel trailer to reached out to us and said, hey, we're selling our house in Anchorage and they're moving to the land that they had built a house in.
Yeah, down by the Kenai Peninsula. So they're going to go fish, retire and fish.
Their house is so amazing, but it's a little above our budget.
We could pay for it, but we going to be house poor.
Yes.
It's badass.
It would be like anything and everything we've ever wanted in a house and more.
The dimensions are going to be wrong, but it was something along the lines that it had an 18-foot wide, 36-foot long, and 14 or 16 feet tall enclosed workshop on top of a 3-car garage, on top of like several acres, on top of an amazing house, on top of outbuildings. It was like,
and there was another
no HOA,
another quote unquote shed, but it has like just think
a
like
room.
Like an efficiency type room with a 1-car garage attached to it. And it was just like, this place is so amazing. Like, I wish
there's just too many commas and zeros and ones and decimal points. And, I'm glad you're going. They reached out to us. They're like, hey, which is really, really cool.
It is.
And we appreciate the hell out of it. But for what we want to do by having multiple properties, we want to keep it a little bit lighter on the budget so that we're not going all in on one house. We will be able to do a little bit of both. The hardest part that we're finding on this whole grand adventure is finding a small house in Anchorage, which I thought was going to, I'll explain. So when I say small, like it's either 800 square foot or 2,600 square foot. We're not finding that 14 to 18 range.
And a lot of the homes we find are older, and we sound kind of snobbish, but we don't want baseboard heating.
Yeah, I don't want single pane windows. I don't want basically the houses from like the 60s through the late 90s are, unless they've been upgraded, are not efficient, and they get really damn cold in the winter and they get hot in the summer, and they don't have AC up there. So you got to be really careful on like what you get. So we're looking at something that's built probably 2020 or newer.
Yeah. I think there's some that maybe late 1900s. Maybe.
So if you got, Also, tell them about we got a hookup on the real estate agent because of our tribe.
Oh, here, yeah,
Yeah.
because we are selling our house in Florida, so if you're interested in a beautiful 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, two-story
Two-story,
home, 2,200 square feet, fenced yard with a water softener
3 years old.
filtration system. Yeah, it's barely turning 3 next month.
3 years old next month. This
Mhm.
house is in 100% perfect condition. With it's better than new because we've upgraded all the interior lights. We
Yes.
put up ceiling
Ceiling fans.
fans, like you said, water filtration, fenced yard. Like we've
Mhm.
done a lot of upgrades in the last 3 years on this house, and so we're selling it. We decided we don't want to be slumlords. I mean
No.
landlords.
We've tried the landlord route twice now, and it
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 was a
is not
bad.
me yeah, bad experience on our end.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're excited. This is why we wanted to have this conversation today. Was really just to just share what's changing. So, yeah, pretty exciting.
And what Chris was saying too is that one of our Venturesome tribe is a real estate agent who lives actually not too far from our Florida house,
Yeah,
reached out and said, "Hey, do you have a real estate agent yet?" And we're like, "Nope, but
we
sounds
do
like you
now.
we do now."
We didn't know any real estate agents in
Mm-mm.
Florida. I mean, we knew she was because we've had the conversation with her and her
Yes.
husband in the past because we were talking about land in Florida at one point.
Yes, and this was the day after we made our announcement on YouTube, she reached out to us. So I thought that was amazing. We love our Venturesome tribe.
100%. You
Yes.
guys are awesome. So it's cool. We're super excited. We're nervous. We're like all the emotions you can roll into one. We're stressed the hell out.
Yes.
We're trying to move. We're like, now we're like urgently, how would you say, we're not packing, we're right now we're trying to like decipher what goes and what doesn't because the cost is so damn high that
Yes.
we can't take junk with us.
No, and it's amazing how much we've accumulated in the past 3 years.
Oh Lord, yes.
I can't believe how much we've accumulated. Like this whole YouTube studio setup, I mean, with some decor we had, but
Right, and the bad part is, other than the technical equipment, it's not coming with us. We
yeah.
can't. I mean, at literally it's almost $900 a foot for the U-Pack truck. So a $900 a linear foot, so you get the floor to ceiling but you get 1 foot on the ground. At $900 a foot, you have to make tough decisions like, is it cheaper just to buy this again in Anchorage and pay, instead of it being $99 in Florida for a new office chair, it might be 110.
You know who's making out on all of this? Our daughter.
How's that?
Because I'm looking in her and this has a family room as well as a living room. So upstairs family room. I'm looking out here. She's got a Facebook Marketplace couch.
Right?
A lot of her furniture is Facebook Marketplace. Her bedroom set, I mean, that's all getting sold or free, donated,
Yep.
whatever. She'll get a brand new set up there.
So now you have heard it. Massive life-changing move.
It is. And the nerve-wracking part, like Chris was saying, is that we don't know if it's going to be like mid-November, mid to late November to April.
Yeah, we're kind of all over the place right now. So we wanted to make sure we get this out there since we talked about it on the live, but we know some of you all that listen to us on the podcast don't listen to us on our lives on YouTube or vice versa. So we're going to put it everywhere so everybody know what's going on. We'd love to answer any questions you have and get any feedback from you.
Yeah, we're excited. We already got a storage unit. So we started funneling stuff over there and
Murphy's a jerk, by the way. We started moving a bunch of stuff into the storage unit thinking, oh, we're good. We need to get, try to declutter the house so we can put it on the market and start showing it. And we move 2 generators, all of the propane tanks and all that over there. And a damn hurricane's coming.
yeah, Hurricane Helen.
Helena.
Or Helena.
Helen.
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 Helen. Yeah, Helen.
Yeah, it's
So we had to go back to the storage unit today and get it.
Yep.
And bring it back to the house.
So now we have the generators and all the stuff back in the house in case at midnight when this first band of storms hits us, we lose power. Just so y'all know, if you are thinking about Florida, where we're at in Central Florida in the middle is freaking awesome because we don't get the storm surge and a lot of the other weather problems, but we're an hour in either direction from the coast.
Yeah, and our location's great. Since it's a newer house build. So we're actually up on like a little hill how they built it, and then we have little drainages on the side.
We're on a Florida mountain. We're at like 313 feet above sea level, flat out on a mountain.
Yeah. And then a power grid's under there. So like we haven't lost power
ever.
ever. When the hurricanes previously have come through and all that, by the time it gets to this house, it's a tropical storm. So, and you just get a lot of rain and some wind.
Yeah, it goes wiggle wiggle outside.
We did lose one of our Christmas decorations once.
We lost the Grinch. We never got him back.
No, he was on the door with like command hooks.
Captain Command Strip, go figure.
Right?
He done blew it away. He blowed his away. All right, Mrs. Peters. Anything else we need to let the awesome Venturesome tribe and our working and wandering folks know?
Let's see. So we're moving back to Alaska due to family reasons and work. So it's works out great for all of us.
Yep.
And
sometime between November and April.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys know, if you own a moving company or have any connections on trying to get us a discount, hook us up.
Absolutely.
Other than that, that's it. That's all I can think about on this one.
Yeah.
Sorry we missed an episode last week. Clearly, it has been redonkulously busy.
Chris and I, we've been on a lot of work trips to California, and we missed an episode because of the fires. Yeah. We were actually going to record our podcast sitting in the hotel room, like on the patio, which was nice. But his work said, "Hey, most of the state's on fire. You should go home." And we wanted to free up the hotel room for any others that needed to evacuate their home.
Yeah, so we missed last week's, but we're back this week, and we will be back every week from here on out, including as we go through all the crazy-ass planning. We've got some guests coming up in the near future that have really cool careers that are full-time remote workers and entrepreneurs that are traveling. So we got to get them on our next couple episodes. Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on any of the podcast platform.
Absolutely. What's the most important thing?
Enjoy every moment.